They rush, they feel pressure and mistake movement for control. So they speak too soon, act too fast, decide before they see clearly, and then they live with the consequences of a moment they never fully understood. You've done it. We all have that moment where something happens, a word, a look, a situation, and before you even realize it, you've already reacted. No space, no awareness, no control. Just impulse disguised as action. Most men live there. They don't see the gap between what happens and what they do next, because they've never trained to see it. But that gap is everything. Inside that space is where control lives. Inside that space is where you decide who you are. Not in the moment itself, but in how you respond to it. The untrained mind closes that gap instantly. It rushes to judgment, rushes to emotion, rushes to action, because it's uncomfortable to sit in uncertainty. So it escapes it as fast as possible. But the warrior does the opposite. He stays. He does not rush to speak. He does not rush to move. He does not rush to react. He lets the moment fully arrive. He observes it without interference. He feels everything, but is controlled by nothing. This is not hesitation. This is control, because hesitation comes from fear. But stillness comes from awareness, and awareness gives you options. When you rush, you only have one path reaction. But when you pause, you create space, and in that space, you gain power. The power to choose your words, the power to control your emotions, the power to act instead of react. This is where most people fail, not because they lack strength, not because they lack intelligence, but because they never learned to hold that space. They've been conditioned to move fast, to respond instantly, to fill silence, to avoid stillness. But silence is where control is built. Stillness is where clarity forms. And the man who can remain steady when everything around him demands reaction is the one who cannot be shaken. So the next time pressure shows up, don't rush. Don't speak immediately. Don't act immediately. Let it sit. Feel the moment without being pulled by it. Watch what your mind tries to do, and then decide. Not from impulse, not from emotion, but from control, because control is not loud. It does not announce itself. It does not force outcomes. It waits. It sees clearly. And when it moves, it is precise. That is the difference. They rush, you don't. And over time, that difference becomes everything. Train the pause, and you will never lose control again.